Gaming has not stopped being fun. We just stopped feeling it. And that's the truth for a lot of us in the 30s or even 40s. Work, family, responsibilities, they get in the way. But here's the good news. There is a way to fall in love with gaming again. And I'll try to show you how in this video. You ever wonder when gaming stopped feeling magical? Like, remember being a kid, sprinting home from school just to log into RuneScape or pulling all-nighters on Call of Duty with your friends? Back then, even grinding the same level for hours was fun. Gaming wasn't just an hobby, it was life, or the best part of it at least. But now, you boot up a game, stare at the screen for 20 minutes and shut it off because you don't actually feel like playing. I know, because I've been there too. I still love games, but I can sink 5 or 6 hours into them like I used to. And honestly, sometimes I even feel guilty when I do play. And maybe you feel too. So, what happened? Did games get worse or did we just stop enjoying them? That's the problem I want to tackle today. Because here's the truth. Gaming doesn't have to feel empty. The joy isn't gone forever. It's just buried under the weight of growing up. Let's rewind to 15, maybe 20 years ago. What were you playing? For me, it was RuneScape, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike. I didn't even notice the hours going by sometimes. It didn't matter if I was grinding wood cutting for 6 hours straight in RuneScape while watching something on YouTube, or stuck in a domination lobby trying to get my kill-death ratio up in Call of Duty. Games weren't just fun, they were effortless. I didn't need to convince myself to play, I didn't have to block out time in my schedule. I just did it. And even the boring parts of those games were fun, sometimes, because we had nothing else pulling us away. Maybe we should be studying at that time, but that's a whole different topic. Think about how exciting something as small as just a regular weekly update on a game you used to play used to be. It was incredible. Or how playing Counter-Strike with friends felt like the greatest use of time possible. Those moments are burned into memory, not because the games were good, but because life was simpler. There weren't responsibilities, at least not as many as we have today. So, what happened? Did the games get worse, like I said previously? I don't think so. Although we've had our fair share of bad practices in the gaming industry in the last 10 years, that's a given. If anything, we are living in a somewhat golden age of gaming. Although I don't really like to use this term, I don't like it. We have massive open worlds, indies more creative than ever, online games doing great, and even awesome narrative games that just pull you in. The problem isn't in the games. It's us, it's me, it's you watching this video. The older we get, the more responsibilities pile up. Work, relationships, house chores, family. And when you finally sit down to play, you feel guilty. Like, should I really be playing this for 3 hours when I have dishes in the sink? Or when I could be answering emails? There's this constant voice in the back of our heads, reminding you of everything else you should be doing. That voice, it didn't exist when you were 12 or 15. For me, this has actually been a big struggle for years. I still love gaming, but I can't marathon it like I used to. I can't just disappear into a world for 5 or 6 hours without feeling like I'm slacking off. Even when I want to, I end up checking the time, thinking about tomorrow's to-do list, picking up the phone just to check on some work emails, and suddenly the game doesn't feel like an escape anymore. It kind of feels like procrastination, in a way. Here's the truth. Gaming just isn't the same as when we were kids, and it's not supposed to. Back then, we had nothing but time. Now, every hour feels like a decision, like, do I relax, do I work, do I rest, or do I game? Being an adult means every choice comes with trade-offs. But gaming is still our thing, for a lot of us, and for a lot of you watching this video. It's still the place we go to decompress after a long day, even if we only get 30 minutes instead of the 6 hours. And honestly, that is fine. If I've worked on a 9-10 hour day, done chores, put my kid to bed, am I really supposed to feel guilty for playing for an hour? No! That hour is me recharging. That hour is me reconnecting with something I love. So yeah, responsibilities do matter, but so does keeping that little spark alive. One of the ways I personally tried to fix this problem was by combining two things I love: gaming and content creation. Making videos just like this one you're watching right now. Scripting, editing, sharing that passion. Suddenly, I wasn't just playing a game, I was making something out of it. I was creating a record, a backlog of memories that future me can look back on. And even if nobody watched, it still felt like I was doing something worthwhile. It was able to scratch both itches in my head, the need to be productive and the desire to play some games. But I get it. Not everyone wants to make content, and that's perfectly fine. It's a hobby. Not everyone wants gaming to become work, like it is for me in a way. And I'm not referring to content creation. So, let's talk about other ways to bring back the fun and enjoyment in gaming. Here's the part where I try to fix gaming for you and for me at the same time. A few things that actually help me feel the fun again. First one, just lower the stakes. Not every game has to be an epic 100-hour RPG game. It's okay to just play a round of Rocket League or Fall Guys. Smaller, bite-sized experiences can be more fulfilling when time is limited. Stop treating every session like it has to be a huge commitment. In time, if the enjoyment comes back, you can go back to those bigger sessions and bigger commitments on bigger games. Second tip I have for you is to try and play socially again. Because do you remember when gaming was just hanging out with friends? Just hop on Discord or Skype or TeamSpeak in the past, grab a buddy, just play anything. Even if the game sucks, you still have fun with your friends. Sometimes the fun isn't even the game, it's the people you play it with. And this is something I have to work on, since I'm mostly focusing on single player games right now, and I think that some interaction from time to time would make me have a lot more fun gaming. Another thing you can do is to revisit the classics. Nostalgia is really powerful. Just boot up RuneScape, Doom, World of Warcraft, whatever it makes you feel nostalgic, or whatever your childhood favorite was. You don't need to play it for 50 hours. Just dip back in and remember how it felt. Sometimes, a taste of the past reignites the fire in the present. This is big. Set boundaries for guilt. If you just tell yourself, I'm going to game guilt-free from 8 to 9 PM tonight, then stick to it. That way, you are not constantly thinking about chores. You have already scheduled them in a way. Gaming becomes intentional instead of something you're stealing time for. Sure, you're kind of scheduling your fun, but think of this as the first steps in a process that can take some time. What about trying to mix it with real life? If you've got kids like me, try to find games you can play with them, even if it's stuff you don't enjoy playing alone like Mario Kart or Minecraft. Because gaming doesn't have to be your escape from life. It can be part of your family time. I sure know I'm waiting for that moment to come, because my son right now is still 1 year old, so I still have some time to go, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. To finish up, just try new genres. If you're burned out, maybe it's because you're playing the same stuff you always did. Just switch it up a little bit. Play a weird indie, a puzzle game, a narrative experience. Sometimes breaking routine is all it takes. Stop the grind for a little bit in that game you've been playing for the last 10 years and just go for something new, something fresh. Because in the end, gaming isn't gone and will not be. Good games aren't gone, the joy isn't gone. It's just different. It's not the endless playground it used to be in the past, because honestly, we are not kids anymore. And that's fine. That's how it's supposed to be. But fun is still out there to be having. It's just about finding it in new ways, whether that's shorter sessions, playing with friends, revisiting old favorites, or turning it into something more, like I did with content creation. So no, gaming is not fun anymore. Gaming has just grown up with us. And maybe that's the best part, because now, every time we do find time to play, it means more. If you made it this far, thanks for hanging out with me in my little therapy session, let's call it like that, about gaming. I'm curious. What was your game 15 or 20 years ago? What's the one title that defined your childhood? Drop it in the comments, I'd really love to know. And hey, if you still feel that spark, or if you've got your own tricks to make gaming fun again, share those too. Because I believe that we all could use a little help keeping that love alive.